For decades, people were dying, and no one could prove why. In 17th century Italy, a poison existed that left no smell, no taste, and no immediate suspicion. It worked slowly, it mimicked illness, and it killed thousands undetected. It was called Aqua Tofana. But this was not just a murder weapon, it was a secret network, a business. And for many women, the only escape from a life with no exit. Stay with us, because the truth behind Aqua Tofana is far darker than legend suggests. By the end of this documentary, you will understand what Aqua Tofana was, who created it, how it spread across Italy, and why its legacy still raises uncomfortable questions about justice, power, and survival. To understand the poison, you must understand the prison. 17th century Italy was deeply patriarchal. Marriage was permanent, divorce was nearly impossible. Women had little legal protection from abuse. Husbands controlled finances, movement, and often life itself. If a marriage became violent, cruel, or deadly, there was no court to turn to, no safe exit. For many women, the only freedom available was death, someone else's, and someone figured out how to sell it. This operation began with one woman. Her name was Giulia Tofana. Little is known about her early life, but records suggest she inherited knowledge from her mother, who had already been accused of poisoning. Giulia refined the formula, perfected its invisibility, and turned it into a system. Aqua Tofana was sold discreetly, often disguised as cosmetics or religious items, sometimes hidden in bottles labeled as holy water. Customers were not random criminals. They were wives, trapped women, desperate women. And the poison worked exactly as intended. The genius was not speed, it was patience. Aqua Tofana did not kill instantly. Victims grew weak over days or weeks. Doctors diagnosed natural illness. Families prepared for mourning, not investigation. No violent symptoms, no dramatic collapse. Death appeared ordinary. At a time when medical science was limited, the poison blended perfectly into the background of everyday disease. Authorities had no reason to suspect murder, until the pattern became impossible to ignore. The same story kept repeating. Healthy men were dying across Rome, Naples, and Palermo. Wives survived, inheritances transferred. Questions were whispered, but never proven. The operation expanded quietly. Giulia built a distribution network of women who understood secrecy. Each sale came with instructions, but also warnings. This was not revenge, this was final. Historians estimate that hundreds, possibly thousands, died before authorities realized something unnatural was happening. And then someone talked. The perfect secret collapsed because of fear. According to historical accounts, the operation unraveled when one client panicked. Her husband fell ill. Guilt took over. She confessed, to him or to authorities, depending on the account. The name Aqua Tofana finally surfaced. Giulia was arrested. Under interrogation, some say torture, she reportedly confessed to supplying poison responsible for countless deaths. The secret was out. The justice system had no sympathy. Giulia Tofana was executed publicly. Her associates were imprisoned or killed. The operation was dismantled. Authorities framed the case as pure evil, a monstrous woman poisoning innocent men. But the trials ignored one question entirely. Why did so many women seek her out in the first place? History rarely asks why. Aqua Tofana forces an uncomfortable debate. Was Giulia a serial killer, or a product of a system that offered women no protection? Some husbands were likely abusive, others may not have been. The poison did not discriminate, it simply ended lives. This is where history becomes morally unstable. There are no heroes, only consequences. The poison outlived the woman. Even after Giulia's death, fear remained. Rumors spread across Europe. Sudden illness sparked paranoia. Trust inside marriage quietly eroded. Aqua Tofana became legend, the perfect poison that exposed the fragility of social order. Aqua Tofana was more than a poison. It was a mirror, reflecting a society where silence was enforced, suffering was hidden, and justice was unavailable to the powerless. The formula was destroyed. The network was erased. But the conditions that created it, those take far longer to disappear.